Welcome to Stayf Doodles. I'm Stayf, a Dutch artist, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can make a 5-page Foldy comic. And a Foldy comic is a comic that's made out of one piece of paper, and in order to read it you need to unfold the comic and then you can read a new page or a new panel. This concept I didn't make myself. I read it on Substack, and I'm also on Substack with Stayf Doodles, and there I go more in depth and have tutorials and also announce some of the discounts I have on my Procreate brushes. So if you're interested in reading more or learning more, go to Substack and I'll leave a link below this video. I made a 5-page Foldy comic for a comic convention I went to, which is the Stripdagen Haarlem, the 2025 edition. Because the Stripdagen Haarlem is a comic convention in Haarlem, and that's the city I work and live in. And it was held in a former jail. And I've made a comic just as a giveaway, a 5-page Foldy comic, and I'm just going to show you how I made it. And I also made a template, so you can use that template to download for Procreate or any other software you draw in. A week ago I was at Stripdagen Haarlem to sign my graphic novel series World of What If with my cartoon character Horace Hippo. I first published the story in 1996 and 2000. Then I stopped because I had a writer's block. Now I have picked up the story again and have rewritten and redrawn the first book with the title Horace Hippo Returns. It's now available on Amazon. I'll leave links in the description of this video. Stripdagen Haarlem is an international comic convention in the Netherlands that's held every other year. This year there was a special edition celebrating 80 years of freedom in the Netherlands. During the Second World War, the Netherlands was occupied by Germany. In 1945 we were liberated by the Canadians and Americans. The theme of this edition was 80 years of freedom. The convention was held in a former prison in Haarlem called the Koepel. It's no longer a prison. It has been repurposed and a multifunctional building, housing companies, a university and a movie theater. Last year I published the first chapter of the graphic novel series World of What If. I was also interviewed by a Dutch broadcasting company. I had printed the first chapter as a special edition with an ex libris. This is great for collectors. I wanted to make a new ex libris for this edition of the comics convention when I came across an article on Substack about the Foldy comic. It's a comic you unfold with one piece of paper. I came up with the storyline for Horace Hippo in the Petoet by letting the story take place in the former jailhouse in Haarlem. In the 1920s the Koepel was still a jail. Horace Hippo is a cartoon character from that same era. I did research and took pictures as reference to draw all the panels. I drew everything in Procreate on A3 size at 600 dpi. To make it look like an old-fashioned newspaper print, I applied a halftime filter and displayed the colors with the chromatic aberration filter. The comic is in Dutch, but I will translate it. 80 years freedom from a jail. The organization for Stripdagen Haarlem came up with this great idea. The underlying idea is probably that comic strip characters are always confined within panels. But as a cartoon character I won't settle for that. There is only one way to escape with the help of these wisdoms of freedom. Free at last. The article about the Foldy comic was written by Matt Madden on Substack. There you can download a tutorial on how to make a 5-page Foldy comic. The Foldy comic was made popular by cartoonist Kenan Rubinstein. He also had a website called the 5-page Foldy comic. I looked it up on the Internet Archives in the Wayback Machine. But the idea originated from the mathematician Fibonacci. He invented the Fibonacci sequence. The sequence was later used for the golden ratio that artists and architects used in their designs. So what is the 5-page Foldy comic? To make the template for this Foldy comic, just grab a piece of paper. For this sample I'm using an A4 paper size, 29.7 cm by 21 cm. But you can also use a letter size paper. Then you fold it 4 times. Then number the pages, starting with the cover, number 1. Name the other side 6. This is the back cover of your comic. Here you can leave a QR code or information about yourself. Then unfold the paper and write 2 on both sides. Unfold again and write the number 3 on 4 sides. Then unfold it again and write 4 on 8 sides. Unfold again and write number 5 on 16 sides. Now you have the template to make your Foldy comic. The interesting thing about this method is that the size of your panel switches between portrait and landscape mode. And the panels become 2 times bigger each time you unfold the comic. When you unfold the paper you can see the layout. You can use this template and draw your Foldy comic on paper, but you can also draw it digital. I've made 2 digital templates you can download. A PDF of the 5-page Foldy comic, A4 size and letter size, to print out if you want to draw it on paper. If you want to draw the comic digital, you can download the layout of the front and back as a JPEG and import it into your favorite drawing app. The outlines I've made in Retro Blue. If you want to print it out and draw on top of it and later scan in your drawing, the Retro Blue lines will not be registered. I made the Horace Hippo Foldy comic and sent it to a print service. Then I folded the comics at the convention. When you fold it 4 times, your pages don't align that well and it becomes a bit messy. Another option is to make the Foldy comic at A3 size. There's also another option, the 4-page Foldy comic. The 4-page Foldy comic only has 4 pages. You can make this comic by folding your paper 3 times. Then number the pages or panels, name the front number 1, this is the cover. Unfold the paper and write 2 on both sides. Unfold it again and write 3 on 4 sides. Unfold the paper again and write 4 on 8 sides. Name the back side 5. This is the back cover. Now you have a template for your 4-page Foldy comic. This folds much better than the 5-page comic, but you have lesser panels to tell your story. I've made 2 digital templates you can download. A PDF of the 4-page Foldy comic A4 size and letter size to print out if you want to draw on paper. If you want to draw the comic digital, you can download the layout of the front and back as a JPEG and import it into your favorite drawing app. I wrote an article about the Foldy comics on my Substack. There you'll find the templates. The link is below this video. Have fun creating your own Foldy comic. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and don't forget to hit that notification bell, because each time I upload a new video, you get a notification. Drawing is fun and practice makes perfect. See you next time. Doodles!